As you can see, the weather outside is frightful. I know a winter storm just hit a big portion of the country, so I just wanted to go ahead and take this opportunity to give a few driving tips for anybody who doesn't know how to drive in inclement weather. First off, drive slower than normal. Be aware of the road conditions. And don't use your cruise control. Modern cars are a little bit better than older cars about it, to where if they have a wheel lose traction, they'll automatically cut the cruise control. But older cars, I'd say probably 90s. I'd say anything pre-2000s especially. If your wheel has trouble spinning or if it loses traction or something, it's going to overcompensate and it'll just try harder. It'll push harder and it's going to cause you to run off the road. So I say just for safety, just don't use it at all if you can avoid it. If you can avoid it, as if you can't avoid using cruise control. Most of you don't use cruise control anyway, let's be real. But yeah, if it's hard to see outside, like if it's snowing really hard, like in this case, if it's snowing real hard or your windshield's really salty or something and you just can't see outside, definitely drive slower. I mean, if you can only see a few feet in front of you anyway, you need to be driving slow enough to where you can stop in that distance that you can see, just in case you suddenly come up on something that's just like stopped in the middle of the roadway or whatever. Take more care when changing lanes than you usually do. Use your blinker, please. Yeah, because the people around you probably won't see your blinker as soon as they normally would, and they might not be expecting you to get over. They might just be expecting everybody to stay exactly where they're at, and you don't want to catch anybody by surprise when it's a lot harder to stop outside. And that's another thing. Definitely definitely stop sooner than you would normally stop, because you're going to want to start slowing down, especially if it's like icy outside like it is right now. Slow down way before you get to where you actually need to stop, just in case you wind up sliding or anything like that. You definitely want to keep extra distance compared to normal, so that if your brakes lock up or you wind up sliding across ice or water or something like that, then you won't slam into the person in front of you. You know, you want to essentially expect that you're going to slide a little bit every time you stop. Like for semi trucks, stuff like water isn't as big of a deal because we have more wheels that have to lose traction before we hydroplane. But for cars, it's a big concern. So you have even one wheel, then lose traction, then you're probably going to hydroplane, slide around a little bit. So every time you go over, say, like a big puddle that could fill up the tread of your tires, just expect that you're going to hydroplane. And if you do hydroplane, don't slam the brakes. The best thing to do is actually do nothing. Just you just want to keep the car going straight, let off the gas, let off the brake, all of that. And if your tail slides to the right, what you want to do is actually keep the car straight, not necessarily going in the same direction that you want to be going, but you want to keep the car straight, because if you slide to the right, your tail end slides to the right, and then you try to overcompensate and pull to the left, what's going to happen is you might spin out, and that's just going to cause you to run into somebody or run off the road or whatever. So yeah, there's all that. If you don't have to travel, just don't. Stay at home. And obviously, if you got to work or something, then you got to go do that. And nobody can blame you for that. What else is there? Oh yeah, I can't really use mine right now because it's frozen over. But keep your windshield wiper fluid topped off, because if you're going to drive around and the roads are salted as hell like they are right now, your windshield's going to get covered in it. And it's going to get really hard to see, even if it's clear outside. So you want to be able to use your fluid to clear off your windshield whenever it gets like that. Not a whole lot of tips other than normal driving stuff. Be courteous to other people. Let them in front of you more than you normally would, because like if somebody's merging onto the interstate and their only option is to get in the same lane you're in, if you can't get out of the way, just slow down, because it's their responsibility to merge, absolutely. But if you can help them, you might as well, so they don't have to wind up slamming on their brakes or something, which could cause them to slide, and they could have a wreck, they could hit somebody else. Just be a little nicer than usual. And that might be all I've got for you this time around. I'm sure I'll come up with some more as soon as I stop recording, but that's okay. Subscribe for more, I guess. I've been talking about politics around here a lot lately, mostly gun rights kind of things, but I think I've got some other stuff coming up soon that's not going to be related to that. So, yeah, I'll probably put out some more tips like this too whenever they come to mind. So, thanks.